I'm John Potocznik. Welcome to my studio. You know, I've been teaching art. I taught for a lot of years, and one of the things my students always seem to have a difficult time doing is judging their color and what its value was. And so I want to show you something that I think will be a real useful tool for your studio. I believe each of you should create your own grayscale. And I like a grayscale that is from 1 to 9. This is the grayscale with white on one end and black on the other, and then 9 steps, which equals 9 steps. I like the 9 step more than the 10 step because that puts the 5 right in the middle value right on the 5, which makes it a lot easier then to create this grayscale. The grayscale is valuable because when you're mixing a color on your palette, all you have to do then is judge it against the grayscale, and you will know by squinting, it helps you discern what that value is. And so you'll know that it's either dark enough or light enough or just right, because a lot of times I found students' paintings tend to fall in the middle area, all in the middle gray area, and they don't have the contrast that they need. Their darks are not dark enough, their lights are not light enough. So I'm going to show you how to create a grayscale. It'll be a real helpful studio tool for you, and you just keep it in your studio. As you can see down here on my palette, I have created a grayscale, which is on my palette all the time, and it's under my palette is glass, but I've painted the table that the glass is sitting on in a middle gray tone. So that is a guide just to begin everything, and then I have this grayscale with me all the time. So I'll show you how to create a grayscale. I have white on one end, black on the other. I've already created the middle value, which is 5 right there. And that's the best way to do it. Go to the middle first and find something that's right in between the black and the white. And that's going to be a visual judgment for you. But then from there, you need to go to the middle again, between the black and the middle gray, and you want to come up, in this case we're looking for number 7, find what that value is, and I prepared this ahead of time so that I'll have a gauge, a prepared guide already that'll help me to get there quickly. I think put a little too much dark out. That's getting close. Put a little too much dark out right at the beginning here. We want to judge that. It's still a little dark. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I'm going to have to add more white, I'm going to put part of this over here. I won't have to use as much white to lighten this. Get this to the value I think we need. Yeah, that's pretty good. So we'll go with that with number 7. Need to darken this one a little bit for number 8. And again, we want this value halfway between the black and number 7, the number 9 and 7. So keep going darker here. Get that where I want it. That's pretty close. We'll go with that. Now we want to do between the 5 and the 7. So we need to put a value there. And I will lay this here. And we'll take a little of the 5, put it in there. It's got to be now halfway between these two. I think I got too much. I don't know what I was thinking there. I shouldn't have. I have to go into the black. I shouldn't have used the white. That was a mistake. Okay, we're getting close. This is a number 6, pretty close. Yeah, we'll go with that for number 6. Okay, now we do the same on the opposite end. We're going to the middle. There's white. We're going to take some of the number 5, put it in there to go to number 3. Which is getting pretty close. That's pretty close. So that worked out good. Yeah, I'll go with that for number 3. Now go ahead and do number 2. Which is pretty light value. Put a little 3 in it. These values, learning the grayscale and mixing this up, it's going to be an eye-opener for you. You're actually going to be surprised. Some of my students have said, this is more difficult than I thought it was. So that's why it's valuable to mix it right here on the palette, before you put it onto paper. And because it's a lot easier to adjust it here than once it's on the paper. So that's what I think it's going to be real helpful to you. And don't pass this off as unimportant, because I think it will really help you understand your values. Okay, we have a grayscale established from white, 9 steps, all the way to black. And when you take your time and get it right here, then you can put it on paper. This is a gesso paper. I use the Utrecht Studio Series acrylic gesso on kind of a heavy paper. And I did the grayscale here, and when you do it nice and neat, it will come out looking like that. And so this is what I use when I'm uncertain about a value. It's the color that is hard to discern. These values are not that difficult to discern, but it's the color. And you'd be surprised, the colors we think, particularly in the light colors like yellows and so forth, we think they are really light, and in fact they're going to fall in this range somewhere, which is surprising. We don't actually think they're that dark, but when you judge them, squinting your eye next to that, you find out how dark they are. Here are some of my little paintings I do. I use this process an awful lot in creating. Before I ever go into paint, I work out my value structure first, just monochromatically using these grays, and they've just been a tremendous help in strengthening my paintings. So I appreciate y'all watching this video. You can learn all the supplies that I've used in this video by going to dickblick.com, and you will find all the supplies I used here. This has been a brief demo, but I sure hope it's been helpful to you, because this value scale has been extremely helpful to me, and I would have a hard time doing without having this value scale in my studio right here on my palette.